Loss is one of life's most difficult challenges, but it's also an opportunity to build resilience and strength that you didn't know you had. Hi, this is Enrique. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about coping with loss and finding the strength in hard times. So in this world, everybody will eventually go through a time where they will have a large loss. Whether it be a family member, whether it be material things, or whether it be friends, everybody eventually will have to go through that pain. I myself, several years ago, in March of 2020, I had my mom pass away from stage 4 lung cancer. And that to me was probably one of the biggest losses that I've ever had in my life. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this audience that's watching my video today has also experienced something similar. Also, right now, we're going through a very rough situation all over the United States, with many people suffering losses of friends, co-workers, family members, material items, homes, vehicles, and other types of situations where people's lives have been devastated. They have to find it within themselves to build strength during these hard times. In this video, I will provide you certain steps that you can take and comforting words and insights to help you navigate that grief and find strength. So let's talk about understanding grief and loss. So when you have grief, that's usually when you suffer a significant loss. Now, grief can actually take many forms. You can have emotional grief, physical grief. You can have mental and even spiritual grief. There are different stages of grief as well: denial, anger, depression, and acceptance. It is okay for you to go through a different mix of emotions. Everybody's journey through grief is different. No two people are unique, and there is no wrong way to actually go through this process. What matters is finding your own path to healing. There's many common challenges that people face when they're going through a loss. For a lot of people, there's this feeling of isolation where you might feel like no one understands what you're going through, but you are not alone. There's a lot of people going through very similar situations such as yours. It's very important that when you go through this process, that you reach out to people that you trust, either friends, family, or other support groups that can help you go through this process. There's many people that go through physical and mental exhaustion during this phase. A lot of the times what can happen is this can manifest as fatigue. You can get lack of motivation, or you can have a lot of physical discomfort as well. For my particular case, it was difficult to be motivated, especially after you lose a parent. It gets very difficult inside to be able to keep going. Finding that support group with other family members or friends that can also share their stories, very similar stories. You'll be surprised how many people open up to you after you let them know what happened. A lot of people have gone through very similar things and can actually provide you comfort and ideas as to what helped them to be able to overcome the loss. And it's all about taking those small steps forward every single day, every single week, and every single month to be able to get through this. It's very common during these stages is that sometimes when you have certain places that you visit, or you have certain things that you see, or certain pictures, or certain anniversaries, those can all cause these symptoms of grief and reignite them. What people will do is they'll create new traditions, or they'll create new memories. So it's just a matter of fact of finding new ways to be able to get over the grief and move forward in life. So what are some strategies that you can do to cope with these losses? Number one, you have to be able to acknowledge the emotions that you are going through. So you do have to allow yourself to be able to go through these emotions without judging yourself. I think for men, it's probably more difficult overall, since a lot of men tend to hide their emotions, but it's very important that you let it out. The longer that you suppress this grief, it's going to prolong the healing process. So that's why it's very important for you to let it out, so that way the healing process can start sooner rather than later, and you can move on. Some people, they go through the process of actually journaling all their thoughts and emotions. Some people prefer talking to someone close and letting all their emotions out on those individual people. And some people even let it all out on either some sort of form of art or music. You have a lot of very creative people out there that display all their emotions on art, whether it be paintings or a song that they create. Number two is to seek support from people around you. It's very important at that time when you suffer through these losses is to seek support amongst your family, your friends, and other professional counselors around you. There's a lot of support groups, especially right now online. You can find a lot of support groups that are more than willing to give you a helping hand, or online communities that you can find that will be able to help you either through some sort of Zoom call or in person as well. A lot of the times what will happen is the more that you share your story, it will actually lighten the burden on you. For instance, in my particular case, the more that I shared what happened with my mom and the struggles that she went through during the last several years of her life, and as well as what I was going through and the entire situation, it actually lightened the burden on me, and it allowed me to be able to move forward with my grief. Number three is to always make sure that you practice self-care during this period. So what will happen to some people sometimes is when they do suffer through a loss, like I said, this doesn't just have to be about losing a family member or friend. This could be if you lost where you live or any material things. Right now we have a lot of people losing a lot of stuff from natural disasters as well. So what will happen is you have to make sure that you practice self-care. You have to make sure you continue to the best of your abilities to eat as healthy as possible. Make sure you stay hydrated all the time. Make sure you always get enough water. Not soda, not sugary drinks, but water, H2O. Make sure you constantly stay hydrated, and make sure that you also get enough rest. That's very difficult to do, especially if you've been hit by a natural disaster, because a lot of the times this will cause PTSD, which I've heard of people having that issue as well. So it's very important to start some sort of meditation routine or also deep breathing routines. I highly recommend that you go online and you look for tips and tricks on how to go about with deep breathing techniques, because those will actually help you a lot to be able to bring you back down so that you can go ahead and go through these stages the best that you can. And number four, make sure that you focus on all the small steps that you take every single day, every single week, and every single month. Little goals each day where you can go ahead and little by little go over so that you can manage this grief and move forward in life. I think it's very important that at this time you figure out what brings you peace. For a lot of people, it would be good to take a 10 to 30 minute walk every single day to relieve your stress. and to allow your body to rest. Maybe for some people, they like to just sit down, maybe enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning, or maybe drink some tea in the morning, and just let your mind relax. And number 5, for a lot of people, they do have certain rituals or certain things that they do to be able to honor the memory of that loved one. If you did lose a loved one or a friend or a family member, then at that point, there's a lot of people that find ways to be able to honor the memory of that person. Whether it be creating a scrapbook with pictures and memories, whether it be planting a tree in their honor, or possibly even lighting a candle. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to be able to honor the memory of that person or individual. So these losses that we go through life, a lot of the times, it is a potential catalyst for us to have personal growth within our lives. So you pretty much have to adapt to the new normal and find joy within your life over time. A lot of people also find this pain that they go through as a motivation to be able to start helping others, or to possibly even volunteer their time or their resources to charities, or even to create some sort of art. I've known several people in the past that have gone through a lot of pain in their lives, and they've turned that pain into something, whether it be a business, or, like I said, they turn it into a passion of volunteering their time at certain organizations and helping other people. Because it's all about the purpose in life that you give, and the help that you give to others eventually will come back to you twofold. There's many people over time that I've seen as well, people that I've known that have actually donated to foundations, where these foundations were started because they either lost a loved one through cancer or some sort of other chronic disease or illness, and these foundations have grown where they have gotten millions of donations and people giving their time and volunteer hours. And grief, it teaches us to appreciate life. It also helps us build deeper connections amongst other people and finding that inner strength. Sometimes we not only suffer one large loss in life, we can suffer multiple losses in life. And this will help you go through these losses in the future and help other people around you how to go through them as well. Healing takes time. That's very important for everybody to know. It doesn't just come overnight. And it's very important to take things one day at a time. Even in the darkest moments of your life, you have to know that within yourself, you have the strength to be able to carry on with life. And one of the quotes that I've seen over the years for many people that they use, "This too shall pass, and brighter days are ahead." That quote, it's very important because that is actually the truth. How have you coped with your loss? Please share it down in the comments. It may help other people watching this video. If this video brought you comfort, consider sharing it with someone else who might need it. I will provide links on the description of this video on mental health hotlines that you can access, or even some grief support groups. So for all those people that are currently going through a large loss, remember, take it one day at a time. I appreciate everyone coming to my channel to continue watching my content. I will continue to provide you guys good content that I think will make you a better person. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Con su amiga.